Okay, hey everyone, so this reading is going to kind of like see, does your person, like, have they ever, consulted a psychic or like a therapist or use any type of divination tools? Have they ever watched a pick a card video, or do they do any type of manifestation, whatever, for you and for this connection, because obviously we watch pick a card videos. I know, like, once you watch a pick a card video, you can't stop, and once you make them, you can't stop. So I know that, like, on our end, we watch pick a card videos, but usually the people that we're inquiring about might not really be awakened, or if they are, they could be more sure of the connection than we are, so they don't need to watch a reading or whatever, and we might, want to do that. So yeah, there aren't that many readings that are like this. I like try to search it up. Jupiter's Sun has made a video like it, and I did like how she did the reading. So I watched it last night, so I kind of want to take a crack at it myself. Now this obviously is a very specific thing. If you like know very deep down that this person that you're interested in, and obviously this is more of a higher level connection, not just like a little crush. But it could be though. But I feel like if you know deep down that maybe this person is like, oh, I don't believe in all that stuff, like, oh, I like, even if they're like, I believe that I have a connection with this person, but I don't really believe in, watching pick a cards. I'm not really that much into, like, that astrology and psychics and stuff like that. Like, if you know deep down that they're more of a practical person, or if you're like, if you really can't fathom that they would even know what a pick a card is, or like, oh, psychic, like, I didn't know you can even look into like little stuff like this, like I never thought about it, then just don't apply what doesn't fit. Okay, do not apply what does not fit to you. Okay, this obviously is for entertainment purposes. Okay, just take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, leave it alone. Watch many of my other videos. You can probably come back here later if you feel an even stronger connection, but obviously this is curiosity, and we will delve deep into this because it is a very interesting topic, very inquisitive type of situation. Also, I will say a little disclaimer, and I will say it again for those who skip to this pile. Okay, my life path number is pile number 3. Okay, I notice a lot of people are watching pile number 3, and that's awesome. I like how we have the same energy there, but do keep in mind that whenever I do pile number 3, I'm not trying to force my own energy into the reading or manipulate it in any type of way. I do read every single deck with the same amount of detail, but pile 3 at times does tend to get a little more specific with my situation in particular, because I do have a very strong, like, soulmate connection with somebody. So if you pick pile number 3, do understand that is also very much my energy as well. So if there ever like some parts where you're like, oh, okay, this sounds great, but I don't really think that part in particular resonates with me that much. Like, if you feel like, oh, this reading seems like really strong, but other readings that I've watched, like, say if you watch other pick a card readings, other psychics, and you're just like, okay, this one is really specific, and damn, I didn't realize that my spiritual connection was that intense with this person. Just do understand that this is also very much my energy in that pile. Again, I'm not trying to let my energy be in that, and I'm not trying to dissuade you in any type of way to be like, oh, don't pick that, because that it is a very detailed pile. If it does resonate with you, it does get very specific, as the other piles do as well. But just do keep in mind, again, number 3 is my life path number. Number 3 is the pile that I always watch for every pick a card. I always watch pile number 3. It always resonates perfectly with me. So especially for my own readings that I do as the reader myself, it does pick up on my energy, because spirit just wants to be like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, Mr. Brielle, so just keeping that in mind. Okay, so only take what resonates. Do not, like, don't force anything. Okay, do not force any energy. If you feel that it's a little too strong, if you feel like it really just doesn't fully resonate with you, if you pick pile number 3, I would honestly suggest picking another pile as well, just to kind of, find an equilibrium and be like, okay, this is very specific. Let me also watch pile 1. Let me also watch pile 2, just to see, like, what sticks, okay, just to kind of see what sticks. I would highly suggest that, because I don't want anyone to be like, oh my god, pile 3, oh my god, this person makes so many, and then it's like, it's very specific, because it's also very much my energy with the readings. Now, if you pick pile 3, obviously, you picked it, it resonated with you, it's gonna resonate regardless, but I just, you know, just for the lack of, like integrity and everything, I just don't want people to get like too excited when they watch pile 3 and be like, oh, this is 100% me, this is 100% my pile, and don't apply what doesn't apply to you, okay? If you watch a bunch of pick a card readings and you come across my channel and they're all saying the same thing, and then my reading is a very, like, you know, a completely different direction, very, very, very positive, only take what resonates, do not force it, because, you know, just use your common sense, use your intuition, and just know, does this resonate or not with me? Because if it doesn't, then watch it along with another pile, okay? Okay, oh my god. That was a really long introduction, sorry about that, okay, but obviously timestamps will be below, okay? So yes, this would be, is my person, you know, doing divination? Are they consulting a psychic? Whatever, about you. Okay, I just wanted to put that disclaimer in there, and again, I will mention it again for the actual pile 3, okay, just so that you guys aren't getting like too excited or whatever about specifics, okay, but if it resonates, it resonates, okay? So pile number 1, 6 of Swords, 8 of Cups, Queen of Wands, Knight of, well, no, Page of Wands, and then, like, if they do and only if they do, what do they know about it? So if we have 4 of Wands, that's a good card. The World in the reverse, the Emperor in the reverse, 9 of Swords, and then this is like the final, like, yes or no type of answer. So 10 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. So this reading will be a little bit harder to kind of tap into. I can already tell it's probably gonna be either a really long reading, or it might be very clear and cut to the point and be like yes or no, you know? But let's see. So this side of the 6 of Swords, this person is holding a chalice. They are like, they're arriving somewhere, okay? So I kind of feel this sense of like they are going to somebody to seek some type of guidance, whether it's a psychic or just a friend or, you know, whatever. That really depends on the rest of the reading, but they could be going to somebody, you know? They could be coming towards somebody and asking for advice about this situation if they feel this really strong connection with you, okay? 8 of Cups. Now, both of these cards do kind of talk about, like, traveling, walking away. So let's see. I feel like this person could be, you know, kind of lost with this connection. Like, they don't really know which way to go. They don't know which way to turn, because, like, they're, like, this vulnerable child when it comes to this situation. So yeah, they probably are just like, I need some guidance, like I need guidance with this connection, because I have no idea what's happening. I really want to look into it and just kind of see, like, yeah, they're like, I want to look into it, I want to kind of see what's happening with this connection, just so that I, you know, just to know if it's over or not, okay? Just to know if it's over or not, because I feel like these cards are kind of like, I feel like they're also kind of clarifying these cards as well. So maybe part of them feels like this isn't fully over, you know, because 8 of Cups does talk about walking away, but I feel like maybe they're like, I feel like this isn't over yet, but I need guidance, I need advice, I need to look into this more and just kind of see what's going on, because, like, I'm so confused. Like, you know, like they probably get very in their head about it, and they're just like, okay, like their emotions just kind of run rampant, and like they just get really moody to a point where it kind of like, you know, kind of fucks them up a little bit. Like, I just see a very vulnerable kid, these broken chalices, the shooting star in the background, just being like, we're gonna help you, we're gonna guide you. Like, I feel like if anything, it could just be like spirit guides that kind of just give them little clues as well, even if they're not specifically looking toward or looking to someone or asking someone specifically for advice. They are just being like, okay, help me out. Like, what do I do? Help me out. Okay. So this Queen of Wands, this could be you, this could be your energy. Like, maybe for some of you, maybe you could be the one that kind of gives them these messages. Like, I feel like maybe in like a meditative state, you know, like maybe like telepathically. Sorry, I just like kind of burped a little bit. That could be confirmation right there, but yeah, just like a little bit of a telepathic communication that you might kind of have with this person. If you are like the divine feminine energy, like you could be the very wise person, you could kind of be a little bit of a psychic too. Okay, I'm kind of getting like a really eccentric vibe. I'm getting like warm, you know, like maybe they like live somewhere kind of warm, you know how like there are like psychics on like boardwalks, like beaches and everything. So maybe like maybe they were younger, maybe they learned about you, you know, like they could have gone to a psychic like by the beach, because again, like I feel like by the boardwalk there's always like that type of stuff there, you know, and maybe like without really intending to, they just kind of found out about you a long time ago, or maybe they knew that you would at some point come into their life, you know. Okay, maybe they think about their reading that they had years ago or a while back before they met you. Okay, I'm also kind of seeing like they're blind to it. So, you know, like when I mean blind by it, it could be like if they watch a reading, it could just be like a reader like this where like, you know, we don't show our face, we just like show our hands, we show the cards. So it could be like, you know, a faceless person, you know, that's kind of giving them advice on the situation. Like they haven't seen this person. Or it could be like a psychic hotline. Like I was a reader very briefly for a psychic hotline called like Meet Your Psychic, and I actually just stopped because I was busy with school and everything, and like, you know, you had to be on it like every couple weeks, whatever. So because I was too busy to be on it, I couldn't do it anymore. But you know, there are plenty of psychic hotlines like Keen, Kasamba, psychic encounters, Meet Your Psychic, like California Psychic, you know, stuff like that. Like maybe if they have, like, if this is resonating with you, they could have been like, you know what, let me just like you know, do like a little chat reading with like a psychic, or do a psychic hotline. Like I feel like they probably don't really want to go and see somebody in person. They're probably like a little too skittish to see someone in person. It's probably just like a, you know, so I could feel like maybe a little bit of an indirectness with it, like not meeting someone in person, but just maybe they could be like dabbling on a pick a card video or something. Okay, or I feel like they could maybe be trying to do a little divination themselves. Maybe like they're not really doing that well with it, but like they're trying to, you know, dabble with it a little. Like they're trying to see what can resonate with them, what might not resonate with them, you know. I might have to look in the book for this just to get a couple more specific answers, but I just feel like they could just be getting advice like from a woman, you know. I feel like this also could say like this person that they're getting advice from isn't necessarily like awakened. Like they might not be a psychic. Maybe they're just an older, wiser person that just kind of gives them like relationship advice. Maybe they're just like, oh well, the reason why this person stopped talking to you is because you didn't seem to show interest in them, or like, you know, like you were silent, so obviously they stopped talking, they walked away from you, whatever. So I do feel like maybe that like just with this whole walking away right here, they're probably just like missing your presence, so they're just like, I want advice on this situation, you know. It's like the fact of the matter of if it's a psychic, if it's divination, that isn't fully clear right now. I just feel like in general they could just be getting advice in general about this situation. Okay, so the Page of Wands. See how like on this side it's more like the cosmic celestial side, but then this side I feel like this person's kind of very much like I'll believe it when I see it, like very like because this card isn't necessarily the practical page, but I feel like for this person, how it's coming out, they're probably the more practical person. Also, they kind of look like he's the page, this is the queen, so they could be like maybe talking to like their mom, you know, like a mother figure, an older woman, you know, but I feel like it could be like a relative or something, or someone that they could see as like an older sister, a parent, you know, like a maternal type of energy. They could be getting advice just from an older woman that's like related to them or that they see every single day, like, you know, just kind of getting some advice about it. But I feel like I'm not really sure if they fully like, if they're the person that would be like, oh, let me see a psychic. Like, they might not really be that type of person that really believes in all that stuff. They probably don't know everything about their birth chart, you know. They probably don't know stuff about that, but they probably do just like check and, you know, just generally get advice from someone. So if anything, it could be like, you know, it could be like a family therapist, you know, or like, you know, a therapist in general. They could be talking to a therapist and being like, okay, I really like this person, I keep thinking about them, I'm just kind of wondering like why I'm thinking about this person. And the therapist could be like, oh, that's codependency, you know, because, you know, like, you know, if you talk to like a therapist about stuff like this, like a soulmate connection, they're not going to understand it. So they're just going to be like, okay, you seem to have really low self-esteem, this is a very like codependent situation, whatever. So like I feel like you have to be really careful with who you talk to about this. So I feel like for them, they probably think that they're probably like, look, I'm trying to look at it in a more practical way, and I don't want anyone to think I'm crazy or that I'm obsessed with this person or that I'm being codependent or whatever. So I don't really want to ask that many people. Like, I feel like they could be keeping it very much to themselves, like how this person's holding this cup, you know, maybe like, yeah, they do kind of like, they do approach people with it, they do ask people about it, but it might not really be a psychic, you know, and if anything, yeah, they could have at one point or another dabbled with it, like maybe watched it pick a card, like if they've ever stumbled across it, you know, maybe they were like, you know, how to do this, how to read it, how to read tarot, how to do this, if they do that, you know. Because I'm getting kind of mixed energy. It's like I feel like one half of this pile, they very much are like, I believe in this stuff, I want to do this stuff, I want to learn this stuff myself, and the other half is like, I don't do any of that, you know. So it really like depends on the person that you're dealing with. I feel like this is really going to be up to your intuition as well to kind of help out with this reading. Like, this will be a little bit of a bumpy reading, I do apologize, but it is a very specific thing with this. But yeah, because like I know how in the beginning I was like, this could be like a faceless, you know, psychic, like a hotline, just like, I just feel like they haven't talked to someone in person about it. Or it could be someone who does have a little bit of a psychic type of ability, but they're not fully aware of it, like they're not fully awakened, so they're just looking at it as a wise person that is giving them advice. But I feel like, yeah, they're very much like, if I don't see it in front of me, I'm not gonna believe it. Like they don't really like look into all the cosmic stuff. Even this kid, like they could be getting like little breadcrumbs from spirit, but even like this person, like the shooting star is behind them, they're not looking at it, you know. Like, I feel like they think that it's like all hope is lost, you know, that type of thing. So I feel like spirit probably gives them little breadcrumbs, probably when they're sleeping, whatever. This could be the divine feminine energy as well, giving them, you know, guidance, but like on the low, because I just feel like this person doesn't really believe in, like, you know, in it does hurt. It's because, you know, we obviously do, like, we watch pick a cards, we, you know, I do pick a cards, but not everyone, you know, this isn't everyone's forte. So I can see this person maybe being like, oh, you know, I don't really look into all that stuff, I feel like it would just drive me crazy, I feel like it would just give me too much anxiety, because I'd be going back and forth, like thinking this and that, like I feel like they wouldn't really know where to begin. So they probably just look at the more practical side, and yeah, just get advice from like someone, like a very intuitive person that they know, you know, like a, you know, like a maternal figure, an aunt, an older sister, a very close boss, a close female friend that's older than them, like just someone who is wise on their own, that actually like that actually just kind of gives them advice blindlessly. And it might be the kind of thing too where they're not even trying to really ask this person. I kind of see that this person almost looks like they're just kind of eavesdropping. Like maybe this person is just like a very, very wise. They give advice to other people around them, like maybe colleagues or something around them. And this person doesn't really know how to ask. I feel like they get really nervous when it comes to asking me about stuff like that because they don't want to be seen as like dependent or codependent or crazy or whatever. So they just kind of listen to what they're saying. Like, I feel like they're just kind of like, what is this person talking about? They're talking to all their girlfriends, and I'm just kind of off on the side, and I hear them talking about like soulmates, and I hear them talking about like relationships and what they would want a guy to do, in regards to like talking or communicating, and I'm I feel like they take what they say with a grain of salt. Okay. So yeah, do I feel like they do divination? No, I don't think that they do. I don't think that they watch pick a card readings. I don't think that they have seen a psychic or a tarot reader. They probably have just encountered people like unintentionally. They probably have encountered people that have some level of psychic ability, some level of intuitive ability, someone who's very wise but doesn't necessarily call themselves a psychic, and they listen to what they say and just kind of apply it to situations with you. But I feel like they're more practical people, and they're just like, I'll believe it when I see it. They don't try to like watch readings and pick everything apart. I feel like they're just like, nope, if something was meant for me to know, then someone would be talking about it in my waking life. I would be hearing it, But whoever this person is, whoever this energy is, whoever these people are that are talking about this situation, they do listen to what they say. They do take it with a grain of salt. They do listen to the little tidbits and apply it to their situation with you maybe, and then they're just like, okay, so now I understand where I could have messed up in the past with this person. Now I understand why they stopped talking to me. I understand, like I feel like when they listen to what they say, they actually do kind of understand, okay, this makes sense now, like now I get it, So like in general, they're getting like advice, but I feel like inexplicit advice. Like they're getting like advice they didn't necessarily ask for, but they do need, because spirit, I feel like, just kind of like plays with this person, and they're just like, okay, so yeah, like we're gonna talk to you in your own language. We're going to just give you little breadcrumbs. We're going to give you little hints. We're going to allow you to be in the same room at the same time that these people are talking about relationships, that these people are talking about certain things, just so that you can hear it and then be like, that's actually pretty good advice. I'm kind of glad that I just happened to be over here at this very time. Like, I'm happy that I, like, I can see at work, I just casually went into the break room just to, get like some coffee or something, and I heard these two people, whatever, just this group of people just talking to each other, and I didn't want to go into the conversation, but I kind of just stood there very coy, just mixing my coffee, pouring some sugar and everything, pouring my creamer, and just kind of lingering there and just listening to what they're saying, just to kind of see, like I just feel like they're like really shy, and they're too shy to ask for advice out in the open, so they just kind of eavesdrop and just listen and just see what they can apply themselves. Okay, they even could be like, maybe at one point or another, if you were talking to friends or something, maybe they kind of just like stood by but didn't talk to you themselves. They just kind of stood by and just kind of stared like at the wall or something, and you're probably like, why are they just standing there? They're probably just listening to what you were saying. They're probably eavesdropping just to kind of maybe see if you would talk about them at all and be like, this person, whatever. Maybe they're just kind of like waiting to see if you would mention them, or like just to kind of see like what you talk about, just to kind of get to know you more. But I just feel this very shy, like kid-like energy. Like I feel like it's very like a very immature energy that they are with you, and it's kind of like almost impulsive. Like they just kind of like, they eavesdrop, because I feel like that's a very childish thing to do, just be like, well, let me just eavesdrop on a conversation. So I feel like they do that because they just want to hear what people are saying. They want to hear inexplicit advice that wasn't necessarily given to them, but advice that they can apply to themselves. They listen in on little conversations you might have or whatever if they're near you. If you ever just kind of see them standing by lingering, that's probably why, because they're listening to what you're saying, but they don't necessarily want to talk to you upright. They don't necessarily want to talk to these people and ask them, oh hey, I'm having some like relationship issues, or with this person that I like, with this crush or whatever. They just want to listen to what they say and just kind of hope that they get all the advice they need. And I feel like thanks to Spirit just kind of putting them in the right place at the right time, they do get that energy. They do get that, because so like down here I do feel like, yeah, they feel like it's not really over between you two, that they kind of feel like they didn't really get like the proper closure that they wanted with you. So they do kind of rely on this advice that they're getting. I feel like they do feel like a strong connection with you. I feel like they do see you as someone that they want to be in a relationship with. The Four of Wands talks about like marriage, passion. Okay, someone could be a fire sign. There's a lot of fire right here. Or just in general, they're very attracted to you. They're very passionate, and it's like sometimes they don't understand why they're so attracted, why they're so passionate, because they don't really talk to you like that. But is because like this is like the twin flame card, so I feel like they do feel this energy. I feel like they're not fully awakened to their own like abilities or whatever. Like I feel like they don't fully think of it as like it's like they feel the connection because this is a twin flame, or if anything they just see you as someone that they want a long lasting relationship with. But I don't really think that they are fully aware that they're like a divine masculine energy. I feel like they're not fully aware that they have this like spiritual energy. They might slowly be awakening to it, because the fact that this is in this reading kind of says something on its own, because this is the Emperor. The Emperor is divine masculine. Also, this is Aries, again with the whole fire sign thing. They could have Aries in their chart, or simply just have this divine masculine energy, but it's untapped. They don't know it yet. Like I feel like they don't fully understand it yet, and they aren't purposely looking it up. So yeah, I really just feel like this is like their higher self just giving them little breadcrumbs and just kind of like telling them stuff, but in a language that they understand. So they're not really saying like, oh, this is your soulmate, this is your spiritual companion, whatever. They just kind of give them breadcrumbs, being like, oh hey, listen to these people talking about relationships and stuff, and just kind of understand like maybe why this person stopped talking to you, understand what's kind of going on with your own connection. Like like they give them breadcrumbs. So I feel like even though this person doesn't really watch all that stuff, don't worry, they're still kind of like finding out what they need to find out. But it's not like an outright like, oh, you're the divine masculine, they're the divine feminine, your soulmate. It's like they it's not like on a spiritual level. It's just on like a a bare bones. It's a bare bones every single day, 3-dimensional level, okay? Because yeah, I feel like they're not really fully like a person that goes and sees a psychic. Like I don't really think they're that type of person. They're just a very practical person. So it's like they could still be like manifesting the situation and everything, but they're just more practical. Like they're not like they're not like going out of their way to seek advice. Advice just kind of just follows them, and they're just like, oh, okay, like interesting, Because yeah, I just feel like they if they were to see a psychic, I feel like they wouldn't really know where to begin with this 9 of Swords. I feel like I feel like it would just make them like go over the edge. Like it would drive them crazy. It would make them just like really like nervous and shy, and they'd just be like, holy shit, like, oh my god, I just saw the psychic and the psychic said this, the psychic said that. Like I feel like they might be nervous that if they went to see a psychic or something, that they might say, oh, this is not the love of your life, this is not your soulmate, whatever. So I feel like they're afraid of any type of disappointing truth, so they don't really want to look into it, because they don't want to know. It's kind of like, you can't handle the truth. Like they're afraid. They don't want any type of things saying like, oh, this is wrong, your feelings are wrong, and they kind of feel like they're very in their head about it. So I feel like they think, yeah, if they were to talk to a therapist, the therapist would just be like, okay, this sounds like a really codependent, really toxic situation, oh my god. Or a psychic will just be like, no, if you guys got together, you would break up, it's not gonna be long term, it's gonna suck, So I feel like they're afraid of a reading going terribly wrong, that they don't even bother to get one. Like they just don't, okay? So like the 10 of Cups in the reverse, basically I feel like that's also just saying like no, they don't, you know, like definitely the feelings are there, they do feel something, but I feel like they don't, like I said, because they're afraid if they're wrong that they give like this kind of like devastating, groundbreaking answer of like, no, like, you know, it's all in your head, this person is not the love of your life, you're not going to be with this person, it's not going to go great, it's not going to go well. Like I feel like they very much think that a psychic is gonna be like, oh, you're cursed, there's a whole curse on your family, you know, you're gonna die alone. Like I feel like they're afraid of like the most negative reading ever, so they just don't want to get one. Like they're just like, nope, like get that juju away from me. Like, you know, they could be like a little superstitious about it, but like they're just like, I do not want to know anything about this, I don't want to read into it, I'm just gonna get my little advice and just kind of let things happen how they happen. But spirit is helping them out a little bit, but just in ways that they understand. Okay, so let's see, I could pull from the Romance Angel Oracle deck just to kind of see what else I can get from this, just as like a little bonus. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. So for pile number 1 with the Rose Quartz Pendulum, like what advice can you kind of give to this pile about this connection, this person that clearly does not really want to see a psychic? What else does like Spirit tell them? What do they know anyway about this connection? Let's look at that. For pile number 1, the Rose Quartz Pendulum, what does their person know about this connection, even though they don't really consult a psychic? Or, you know, like, do they still manifest it? Like, what happens? Pfft. Okay, Jesus. All right, there you go. Okay, so yeah, like they might not fully know the name, or like I keep saying over the past few readings, they probably look at it in the more mainstream way, but we did see the 4 of Wands, so I feel like regardless, this person does feel this very soulmate connection with you, so they're probably, yeah, like they don't want to risk being proven wrong by seeing a psychic, and then the psychic is like, you know, because there are some phony fraud psychics out there. Like there are people, like, you know, especially if you go in person, they just kind of watch you and they watch your body language and they just kind of see how you react, and they just kind of feed into it, because in the end they're like, I'm not gonna see this person again, I don't care, you know. So it's like, some people, some psychics are very fraud. Like they just kind of tell you what you want to hear, and then they take your money, and then they're like, oh, by the time I said this would happen, they're gonna forget about it anyway, you know, and they get their money and then they're fine, you know. Some psychics, like, they do that, you know, like they just, so I feel like they kind of see through that. They, you know, if they went to a psychic, they probably saw a really phony one, or maybe they had friends that were like, oh my god, I saw a psychic and they said that I was cursed, you know, so they're probably like, oh, fuck that shit, I'm not doing that, you know. But in terms of the connection, I feel like they do feel that there is a spiritual connection. They do feel the soulmate connection with you already. So they're just like, I'm good, I'm straight, I know what this is. I know I have feelings for this person. I don't care what a psychic says. I know how I feel about this situation. I know what I feel for this person. I don't need to consult anybody, you know, other than just general advice they might hear every once in a while. But they're like, I don't need to watch a bunch of pick a cards. I don't need to see a therapist. I don't need to do that. I don't, you know, like I feel like they just have this knowing, and they're just like, I'm right. I know I'm right, and I don't want to be proven wrong. Okay, because I feel like if they, like I said, if they went to a psychic, I feel like they're afraid that the psychic might be like, oh, this person does not love you, it's unrequited, whatever. And I feel like they don't want to construe what they already feel and what they know. I feel like they're very much like, they trust their own gut. They probably have their own intuition, and they're like, I'm just gonna trust my own gut, and I just don't want to look into that stuff. Because again, some people are very superstitious. Some people, like, you know, they're not really like the astrology type. They're not, like, you know, they probably don't even really know that their zodiac signs like that, and they're probably like, yeah, no, I don't want to see a psychic and have them tell me all this stuff. I'm just gonna go with my gut feeling and just get advice from people that I know in real life, like the bare bones advice. But no, they don't go and see a psychic. But they do know about the connection though. So even though, you know, it's like, watching big card readings are really fun, and it's awesome that you guys do. I do it all the time, you know, that they're really fun. But this person, like, you know, I kind of feel like this happens with the whole divine, you know, one person in the couple, one person in the connection, they consult astrology, they see scientists, they consult the science, they see psychics, they practice divination themselves, and the other half, they're just like, I'm just gonna go with the flow. Like, they're not awakened like that. Like, they don't do that stuff, you know? So in this case, you probably watch it all the time. Duh, you're watching right now. You watch it all the time, and they're just like, nah, I'm just gonna, you know, I'll believe it when I see it, like that type of thing. Okay? So thank you, pile number 1. So pile number 2, this iridescent pendulum. Does your person, like, see a psychic? Have they practiced any type of divination tools? Okay, we have the World, we have the Hierophant, we have the 8 of Wands, we have Judgment. Okay. This is like the if and only if they do, what do they know about it? So the King of Cups in the reverse, the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, the 2 of Cups, and then like the yes or no, the Hierophant again, okay? So I'm seeing a lot of Taurus energy right here, okay? They could be a Taurus. They could be... Also, they could just be like a very religious person, okay? But also I'm just seeing like a spiritual person, so... that alone, it could be a yes, okay? The Judgment card and in the World, like this is a very, yeah, I feel like this is a very spiritual person, you know? Whether that's like religious, like Christianity, or like spiritual, like you know, divination and everything like that. I feel like they are a spiritual person regardless. Like they're very religious. Maybe you're also a very religious person, like, you know, like Catholic or something, like Roman Catholic. But yeah, like they have this very traditional way about them, so probably like a more traditional thing. But I mean, divination has been around for a long time too. But yeah, I'm thinking more like maybe Catholic or something, you know? But that's just like, there's so many other religions out there, but whatever. So with the Judgment card, yeah, they could be awakened in some way about this connection, or very awakened, like things are kind of out in the open. I feel like they're probably one of those people that are like, oh, I don't really believe in a specific God, but I do believe that there's something out there, like, you know, like agnostic, where they're just like I don't have a very specific religion, but like I do believe that there is like a strong force out there, okay? Because I feel like they might not believe in the traditional, like, you know, Yahweh, Christian God. They probably, you know, I'm getting kind of like Greek mythology, that they're probably like into Greek mythology, okay, like that type of stuff. Maybe Hinduism, maybe Buddhism, you know. Which is funny because like this is like the traditional and all that, but maybe they were raised in like that traditional, like, you know, Christian Catholic household, but they're kind of like, I feel like there's more out there. I feel like there's more things out there, and they're trying to tap into it. So they might have their own type of like spiritual ritual things that they do. So like they could be doing some type of manifestation, maybe like Reiki, candles, healing, or whatever like that. Okay, but in general, I feel like they could be awakened to like the connection. We have a lot of reverse cards down here, so we will look at that. But look at this, like, Pegasus. Yeah, I do feel like they probably are very big on, like, Greek mythology and everything, too. Like, I'm kind of getting, like, demigod, you know? Like they probably... I can just imagine, like they were, like, really into Greek mythology, like, in middle school, high school. Probably love Percy Jackson. Love Percy Jackson. Such a good series. But yeah, they probably think of themselves as like, haha, I'm Poseidon, you know? Like they probably, yeah, they're probably very into that type of stuff. So I feel like, you know, I feel like that kind of say, if they believe in, like, you know, that Greek mythology type of stuff, they probably do have like this very, what's the word? I don't know, eclectic taste where, you know, where they're just like, yeah, I do believe in that, like, that really cool outside of the box spiritual stuff. Like, I'm not like, you know, even though they were probably raised in a very Catholic Christian household, they do believe in this type of stuff. They do believe in, like, divination type of things, and they believe that there's other gods out there. So yeah, I feel like they could be like, I'm thinking like Apollo. Yeah, they could be like that type of person that's like, oh yeah, no, this, that, you know. But so yeah, it could be a yes. I feel like it could be like a maybe with this pile, like just divination in general. So we have this world card, and this, like, tell me this doesn't look like freaking Aphrodite. Like, this person really loves Greek mythology. Like, you probably both talk about Greek mythology a lot too, but yeah, this looks like Aphrodite right here. But on this side, I don't know, I kind of feel like they're on like the outside looking in with this situation. Like yeah, I feel like they're very otherworldly people. Like they do kind of like look at things beyond them, you know. So yeah, they could, you know, like they could be like looking at, you know, they could have seen a psychic on like a palm reading or something. They could have maybe watched a pick a card video. Maybe at one point or another, like, you know, they just went to a psychic with their friends and, you know, for fun. And they're just like, just kind of finding out things they can find out, you know? So yeah, they could have maybe like seen a psychic about you, or maybe they're very tempted to, okay? If they haven't, they're probably really tempted to do so, okay? Maybe they kind of took a gander with it at one point. Like they probably, like, you know, gotten a tarot reading before. Maybe like a general tarot reading. Maybe you kind of came up in this tarot reading, you know? Like, maybe they just kind of went there, and then like while they were getting a reading, like this reader is just like, oh my god, like you're gonna meet like the love of your life, like you're meeting your soulmate right now, like, you know, like this divine counterpart. And then they kind of tell them everything about them, and then they're just like, holy shit, wow, that's crazy, you know? I feel like maybe very swiftly, I don't know, they could have originally been like a loner or something, because it's like the Nine of Pentacles, which is like the single person card. They could have like been like a loner or something, and then very abruptly the psychic just kind of tells them, you're actually gonna get into a relationship. Like, maybe you've been single your entire life, but you're very soon just gonna like attract this person towards you, and you're gonna like really quickly just kind of get into a relationship with this person. You're very quickly just gonna meet the love of your life out of nowhere. It's gonna kind of happen abruptly for you, but you're gonna meet this person, you know? Like, you know, I feel like the psychic just told them like, hey, you're gonna meet this person, and they're just like, holy shit, what? Like, they probably, it was probably like they didn't see it coming, but like they were very open to it, you know, because they do believe in like this, you know, Greek mythology. They believe in the other gods. They believe in other things like that. So when they got this reading, probably just went for shits and giggles once, and maybe they found out stuff about you, or maybe this was like after you guys met. Maybe you told them, oh, I love psychics. I like, you know, oh, I have friends who are psychics. I watch pick a cards or whatever, and they're probably like, huh, interesting. And maybe they just were like, whatever, like I could see maybe they're like, you know, walking down like Main Street or something, and then they just see like, you know, the neon hand that says psychic reader, and they're just like, I want to check that out real quick. And then they kind of just were told all this information. They're like, holy shit, all right then, you know. Because I feel like, you know, you have to be open to it, like, you know, because like if you're not open, like if you're not full, like your energy isn't fully open, then like your readings don't become as like detailed as they could be, because like I feel like the psychic can sense your energy and be like, this person isn't gonna believe half the things I say anyway, so why even bother, you know, like and then it just becomes this very lackluster type of reading. I feel like this person's very open though, like they actually do pay close attention, because yeah, they believe in, like, you know, Poseidon, Zeus, Apollo, Aphrodite. Like they believe in like these Greek gods. They believe in other gods. They're not just like, even if they're brought up Catholic or traditional, whatever, they believe in other realms, other worldly things. So they are open to that type of stuff. So, you know, like if they've gotten a reading, they actually listened to what the person said. Like they weren't just like, oh, that's not real. Like, you know, they actually listened to what they said. Okay, so it's like, Like this is all in the reverse, because this was like, if they do and only if they do, what do they know about this connection, whatever. I feel like maybe they're not fully clear if it's you or not, you know. You have the King of Cups in the reverse. I'm saying maybe maybe at the time they got a reading for someone else, like, you know, they maybe it was like a while back they had a crush on someone, or they were dating someone, and they were just like, you know, it was in the very beginning stages, and they went to a psychic and they're like, oh, I kind of want to know what's gonna happen with this person. And maybe at the time the psychic was like, this person that you're with right now, this person you like right now, you might date, you know, but I don't really, you know, it might not really last that long. I don't really see it being a long-term thing. It's probably going to die out pretty fast. But I do see that in the future, like, you know, in a couple years from now, whatever, you're actually going to meet the love of your life. You're actually going to meet, like, your soulmate. So just hang in there, you know. But this person that you're inquiring about right now, no, you know, like, this person you're inquiring about right now is not going to last. It's not really going to go anywhere. You're not going to date this person, whatever. Or, yeah, it's not going to be long term, you know. And it might be a time where, like, you're kind of getting impatient because, you know, you wanted to date this person, you wanted to be in a relationship that didn't work out with this person. But don't worry, because true love is on the way. So they might not even know fully if it's you or not, you know. Like, they probably just got this reading a while back when they were into someone else, when they were dating someone else, and they're just like, huh, well, I know I'm gonna meet my soulmate one day. Is it this person? You know, is it that person? And then maybe more recently they were kind of awakened to this and being like, huh, this sounds very much like this person. Like, you know, the reading, everything that the person said, everything that they said to describe this person kind of described, you know, you, like, this person that I'm dealing with right now, you know. So it's kind of like, did they get a reading about you specifically? Probably not. They got a reading maybe about a different person they were into a while ago, years ago, maybe a crush, someone that they were talking to, someone that they were dating, and the psychic basically laid it out for them and was just like, no, you guys are gonna have, like, differences, you know, you're gonna lose patience with this person, it's not gonna last that long, but in the future you will meet the love of your life, you will meet this person, and they kind of just found out about you through that reading a long time ago, you know. And that does happen. That happened to me, you know. So it's like they found out about you while they were getting this reading about someone else, because the psychic just kind of saw it in their energy, because they're very open and they felt the energy, they felt like your presence, so they did tell them about you. So I feel like they do know about their connection with you, and they're probably slowly realizing, oh shit, that actually perfectly described this person that I'm talking to right now, you know. So with the Hierophant, I feel like, yes, I feel like that's a good yes card to be like, yeah, again, they have seen a psychic, they are very open to psychics and divination and all of that, and whether they want to pick a card, it's probably not, it was probably like a one and done, like they saw a psychic, they told them everything they needed to know about you, and they're just like, oh shit, okay, cool, and they're kind of just riding the wave and just kind of seeing how it'll go with you. But I feel like they've known about you for a while, they've heard about you, they've gotten a reading about you before, and they're just like, shit, that's cool, you know, like, holy crap. But, yeah, because the Hierophant, yeah, this is, like, the marriage card, so yeah, they're just kind of being told about, like, their future spouse and being like, oh shit, this person, you know, like, I'm gonna have a wonderful life with this person, it's gonna be great, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with that. Okay, so I will pull a single card from there, just kind of see, like, as like a bonus message. So yes, they've seen a psychic. Was it about you specifically? I don't think so, but while they were there, they kind of heard about you a long time ago. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. So for pile number 2, the iridescent pendulum, what other messages can we get about this person? What other messages can we get about this person that has seen a psychic, has found out about this person maybe years ago, inexplicably? inexplicably, whatever. Yeah, they're going with the flow, let go of control issues. So yeah, they're allowing it to unfold naturally. I feel like once they got that reading, they're like, okay, cool. I'll just let it happen when it happens. You know, like they don't push it. They don't try to pursue it any further. They got their reading once, and then they're like, cool. You know. So like you probably didn't do that before. Like, you probably didn't get a reading about them and know about them. So you know, like I was saying for pile number 1, I feel like it's always like one half of the connection. We watch the readings, we do this, we do all this divination, and the other person is, I feel like they're always a little bit more sure of themselves, and they're just like, oh, I don't need that, I already know. So I feel like with this person, they're like, oh no, I'm just gonna let it unfold how it unfolds. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I already know that there's a connection there, so I'm just gonna chill and just let it happen, you know, whatever. You know? So yeah, they kind of let go of control issues. They're very open to the situation. They know about it, and they're just like, all right, cool. I'll just let it unfold, whatever. Go with the flow. Let it happen how it's gonna happen. It's all good, you know. Like they're very they're just very laid back about it, you know. So they know about the connection. They learned about it a long time ago, and they're just waiting for everything to completely match up to like the reading they got like a long time ago. Okay. Thank you, pile number 2. Okay, so pile number 3, this necklace, I forget what crystal this is, I think it's lapis lazuli, okay, don't quote me on that, but you can get a quote from eShards. That's stupid. Anyway, so I did have my very long 5-minute, little disclaimer. I will say it one more time because I know that people usually scrub through and just click on the timestamp. So I will say this once again. For anyone who chooses pile number 3, my life path number is also number 3. I always resonate with pile number 3. I've been resonating a lot with pile number 1 as well, but mainly pile number 3 is my go-to pile ever since I started watching Pick a Cards like a couple years ago. I obviously don't purposely try to put my own energy in pile number 3, but if at any given point, if you're watching this and you're like, this is getting very, very specific, or this sounds nothing like readings I've watched before, like maybe other readings, it's more like a lower vibrational energy, and you're like, wow, this is such a strong, like, soulmate connection. Like, I didn't know it was that strong. I highly suggest to watch another pile along with this. I'm not saying you can't watch, no, you can watch this pile. I'm not saying you can't watch this pile, but I will say, because my energy tends to go into this pile whether I want it to or not, and usually I don't, because like I could read for myself any other time, but whenever I get this pile, whenever I shuffle cards for this pile, I always quickly resonate, and I'm like, this resonates with me so much. So if pile number 3 does resonate with you to a T, then congrats, we're on the exact same wavelength. And pile number 3 can also be your go-to pile with my readings, because, you know, I feel like readings that like they resonate with the reader themselves will resonate the most with the person getting the reading. So if you're watching pile 3 and you're like, no, this actually is matching up with everything, like, you're not forcing it, you're not trying to apply every situation to you, but it just, everything that is being said, it does perfectly resonate, it does perfectly apply, then keep on watching, you know, keep watching this pile. But every once in a while, if you're watching the reading and you're just thinking, I don't know if that's me, I don't know if that fully adds up, like this is getting a little too, like this seems like a little bit too much of a strong spiritual connection, and any other pick card, any other psychic that I encounter or watch, they kind of say, oh no, this is a karmic connection or whatever, then please watch a second pile just to kind of, you know, balance out the reading and be like, just take it from both, you know, don't just fully rely on this one, because just for the sake of integrity, I just don't want anyone to just take everything from pile 3 and be like, this is me, especially if you've never heard anything like it in any other reading, because it does get very specific to my situation, to my energy. So that's just a disclaimer, okay? So okay, cool. So anyway, sorry for that long spiel, but let's just get right into it, okay? So pile number 3, does your person consult a psychic? Do they do any type of divination tools, manifestation? Have they seen like a therapist or whatever about you and this situation? Like, do they consult a psychic? Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands, we have the Tower card, we have the 4 of Swords, we have the 4 of Wands, Knight of Wands in the reverse, 10 of Wands in the reverse, Page of Cups, the Tower again. Okay, so we're getting a lot of repetitive things right here. And then the yes or no answer is the Six of Swords in the reverse. Okay, okay. So, let's see. Like, again, because this is my energy in my pile, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the person I'm thinking about, the person that I'm connecting with, doesn't, because they're definitely more of a practical person. But let's see, let's see. So, okay, well, first of all, looking at, like, the Tower card and how, like, this Four of Swords, this guy is just kind of resting, and the swords are floating, and there's, like, a fire in the background, I kind of feel like, maybe they have, like, a very abrupt awakening to, like, this connection, this situation. They find things out. It could be in their sleep. It could be spirit giving them messages, you know, like, they just kind of find things out on their own. Okay. 10 of Wands. I don't know, I feel like they are kind of going through this connection, like this whole, you could be in separation, right? They could be going through this connection on their own right now and just kind of like struggling with it and being like, what's going on? How do I deal with this? Whatever, you know? I feel like that statue that just makes me think of like spirit just like kind of watching over them while they're like working hard, okay? I feel like they do get these sudden realizations, okay? The question of whether they actively see a psychic or not, still looking into that. Still trying to figure that out. It might not fully be, but so far really the only pile that fully was like, you know, like yes, was like the one I just did, but like so far these aren't fully like, oh, they watch them all the time. Like, it's not like how we watch pick a card readings. I feel like these people that we're asking about probably they probably don't, but like they find things out in other ways, you know? Like, we watch pick a cards for fun, but they probably find things out in different situations. Let's see, like, Four of Swords. This is like the resting card, but I feel like with this fire in the background also next to the Tower card, I kind of feel like they get like this rude awakening, right? So I feel like they find things out about you, like probably like, you know, in their sleep, you know? Like, like some of them, they could be like, you know, maybe trying to be like lucid dreamers or something. Like, I also kind of see that here with almost like because this statue looks like this person, like almost like an outer body thing, like maybe like, you know, maybe they're trying to do like, you know, lucid dreaming to try to connect with you in their sleep, and like this is like them, like, you know, that their soul is kind of like leaving their body and trying really hard to travel and get to you. Maybe they're not fully there yet, like I feel like if when they try forcing it, it doesn't happen, you know? I feel like, so this could be more of a manifestation thing, not necessarily seeing a psychic thing, but I feel like when they try to force this communication with you, like through like, you know, telepathic communication, they don't really know what to do. You know, it's like a lot of hard work, and they keep trying to kind of get to you. They keep trying to manifest you like in their sleep when they try to communicate with you. But it's one of those things where it doesn't happen when they want it to happen. It's more like, you know, this is spirit just kind of watching over them, and they're just like, we're just gonna drop this truth bomb at you like when you least expect it. Like, we're just gonna throw this at you in your sleep. Because I feel like this is like, imagine like this tower is here burning in the background of this picture. Like, while this person is sleeping, that's when they get all of these downloads about you. That's when they get all of these messages about you, okay? Like, that's when they find out all this stuff about you. So like maybe like when they're sleeping, maybe you tell them this stuff, or your higher self, you know, your higher self in the form of you, you know, in their dreams is like, hey, you know, we're soulmates, hey, we have this connection, like, hey, whatever. But I feel like they try to get to you. Like they might be afraid that they lost you or something. I feel like you guys really haven't spoken to each other in a long time, and they just get like they just get this rude awakening. They really just get this like very intense energy from you when they kind of don't really expect it. But then I feel like after they get this, they do think about it for like the whole day or something. They when they get this from you, they get these messages, these downloads from you, and they kind of just sit here like what just happened, like what, you know, and they're I feel like they try to just kind of put the pieces together, you know. But I feel like they are not aware that they're manifesting. Like I feel like in this picture, this guy just kind of lets the swords float, but it's while he's asleep, you know. Like I'm getting like Sabrina Spellman, like, you know, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like the old one with like Melissa Joan Hart. And I think the pilot episode was like her Aunt Zelda and Hilda just kind of peeked into her room while she was sleeping, and they saw she was floating, because when she turned 16, that's when she got her powers, and they're like, oh, they're here. And then the second she wakes up, she's like, she falls immediately before she could even realize that she's floating. So I feel like with that, yeah, and honestly with that, just the whole witchy vibes, is probably some witchy shit happening here. But I feel like, yeah, with this person, with your person, yeah, they do manifest a lot in their sleep. Like they probably think about you before going to bed. They probably do try to force a lucid dreaming with you, like to try to connect with you. Like they feel like they really do try to communicate with you when they're sleeping. I feel like that's the only time they really get a chance to talk to you, communicate with you. Okay, we're also seeing 4-4, so that's probably like their number, their life path number, 44. Okay, 10 of Wands, 10 and talks about completion. Okay. But yeah, it's like they unknowingly are manifesting it more. Like I feel like just as like the more they think about you, the more they try to connect with you in dreams. Maybe like, you know, like they try to reach to you, they try to talk to you and in their dreams, but suddenly they lose their voice. Like some weird thing that happens with dreams like that. But yeah, it's like they just don't realize that they are quietly manifesting you, because like they're manifesting you by thinking about you a lot. Okay, so I feel like because they keep manifesting you, they're always in your energy because they're trying to manifest you, they're trying to connect with you. So then because they're always in your energy, that makes you watch pick a cards, that makes you watch pick a card readings, and that makes you go crazy thinking about them and questioning stuff about them, because they're always manifesting you without even realizing it. Okay, like they probably don't even know what like a pick a card is. Like they probably never really talked to a psychic or something. They could have access to one, they could know where one is, but they probably don't. I feel like it's just more of a manifestation with this person. Okay, like they really do just think about it a lot. Okay, it's just in the realm of thought and communication. Okay, I feel like in their dreams, they dream about like this wonderful life with you. They dream about taking action and being with you. They, you know, there's just a lot of visualizations with this person. Okay, it's like I just feel like a lot of like crazy, vivid, graphic things happen in their dreams, and then like, yeah, when they're sleeping, they imagine, you know, just like kissing you, marrying you, dating you, holding hands, being with you, like a very lovey-dovey way, but probably just in like the romanticized version, because they probably don't really know that much about you personally yet. Like, you know, like you guys really haven't spoken that much, so they just kind of like look at it from the outside of like, oh, that'd be great if that actually happened, that'd be great if we, you know. But it's like there's only so much you can really learn about someone from a dream. So I feel like in your dreams, like they kind of look forward to seeing you in their dreams, that they try to force it to happen, they try to force a dream with you in it. Like again, like a lot of lucid dreaming, a lot of daydreaming. Like they probably close their eyes and they're like, okay, dream about them, you know. Like they force this imagination while they're sleeping, and you know how like you, like maybe you had a really cool dream before and then you woke up before it ended and you're like, ah, fuck, I want that dream again. So like you literally close your eyes and you try to think about it, but you're not actually sleeping. You're literally just sitting there awake, but with your eyes closed, trying to force a dream to happen. You know, so they probably do that a lot, like every once in a while. It's just like they can't force it. It just when it happens, you know? Like when they dream about you, it's a nice, pleasant dream, but it's a very like lovey-dovey type of like thing, like in the movies where like, you know, you're holding hands, you're kissing, you're married, whatever. Maybe it could be like getting intimate with each other or something. And then like maybe before they can see your face, like before you turn around, they just kind of wake up, or the dream immediately changes to a different dream, and then they're like, fuck, like bring me back to this person, bring me back to this dream, you know? Like they're just manifesting it. Like they're trying to do lucid dreaming. They probably, if anything, they probably looked up how to do lucid dreaming, how to manipulate your dreams, you know? Like I feel like this person has like a lot of like control issues with this connection. Like they really try so hard to have this connection with you, like in their sleep. Okay, so the whole if they do or don't, down here. So we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay, I'm kind of just getting like this very in and out energy with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. All right, so that could just very much be saying like the whole like, you know, sometimes you show up in their dreams, sometimes you don't, sometimes they get valuable messages from you in their dreams, like they get like hints and clues about this connection, this situation, and then you kind of just disappear. Like it's very sporadic with them, that it's unpredictable, it's uncontrollable, it just happens. Like they haven't fully mastered their manifestation where they can force it, but it does happen when, you know, when they're not trying to control it. They do some type of manifestation all the time because they're trying, you know, they're trying to have a dream about you, you know, and it could be a very like it could be a very thoughtless, mindless innocence to it, where like, you know, they're like, oh, I don't really know if I am brave enough to really talk to them or approach them, so I'm just gonna dream about them. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna think about you, like that song, like dream, like dream, dream, dream when I feel blue in the night and I need you. I like saying it really fast. It's like, whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, you know? So they probably do that. Like, you know, they're just like, you know, they're just very in their imagination, and they're just like, well, I haven't really talked to this person, I'm not really sure how they feel about me, whatever, but I want to think about them, so I'm just gonna daydream about them, and then when I go home, I hope that they show up in my dreams or something. But they don't realize that while they're doing that, they actually are manifesting you, like because those are visualizations, those are like affirmations. So yeah, they're accidentally manifesting your energy. They accidentally are manifesting you into their lives, which is obviously, that's a good thing. That's probably how you first started talking. Like maybe they saw you once, and you know, they were attracted to you, and like maybe they didn't know your name, they didn't know if they're ever going to see you again, so they just kept replaying that moment in their head over and over and over again, and then suddenly you find yourself thinking about this person. You're like, who is this person? And then you just kind of want to talk to them all of a sudden. So I feel like they have this very strong manifestation power, but they haven't like mastered this skill yet, so they do it accidentally. Like they don't even realize that they're doing it, but they do. You know, so yeah, whenever you're like over here just thinking about them all the time, or they show up in your dream out of nowhere, you know, or you're up like, you know, half the night watching pick a card readings, it's probably because they are visualizing you, and so you feel them in your energy because they're thinking about you, right? So yeah, but they can't control it though. It's a very back and forth energy that they have. Okay, the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I kind of feel like they kind of escape disaster in their dreams, like, because you're probably like, yeah, you're probably not talking at all in person, you know, probably there's some dumb things they did, dumb things they said, whatever, in real life, but then in their dreams, that's when things are fine with you guys. That's when you're actually talking, you're actually getting along, you're actually being lovey-dovey and sweet with each other. It's kind of like their escape route. Like I feel like you know, their outlet is their dreams. Like they kind of just escape through their dreams, and that's where they're with you, and they really like imagine being with you. And this Page of Cups, yeah, this is like, you know, this is like the telepathic type of communication. This is being in the same wavelength, okay? This is mutual feelings, okay? This is like, just like, this is like connection, you know? So yeah, it's like they're doing this in their dreams, hoping that they can connect to you at least while in their sleep, because I'm just seeing a lot of like sleeping, okay? So yeah, they're very much dream manifestors, okay? So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a dream and they just kind of show up out of nowhere. Like your dream could literally be anything, and then suddenly they just walk in. Like I'm thinking like what episode, like, okay, there are a few TV shows that did this, like an episode of SpongeBob. He literally was able to go in everybody's dreams, and then they at the very end of the episode, they're like, stop invading our dreams. Like that's such an invasion of privacy, you know? Or like Fairly Odd Parents, like Timmy Turner. These are really kind of old shows right now, but yeah, Fairly Odd Parents, Timmy Turner. I think he was like stuck in like a TV guide or something, so he literally was just like showing up in different TV shows that weren't his show. So like I kind of feel like the way how your dreams happen, like they're very vivid. You know, it's almost like it's happening in real life. Obviously, it's not like any weird like, oh, you're floating in the air. It's like actual like stuff that could happen in real life, like you're in a public place or whatever, and they just kind of casually walk in and you're like, oh hey, what's up, like what are you doing here? I feel like that's them kind of like astral projecting to actually physically, like that's literally their higher self just visiting you. That's them visiting you, being like, oh hey, what's up? Yeah, I was trying to get this happen. Like, oh shit, it works. Like, oh, my time machine worked, you know? Like I feel like they do accidentally. So, you know, and I feel like in turn you probably try to then get them to come back in your dreams, but because they can't control it, you can't control it. It just happens. I feel like it only happens when they do it, or maybe when you both do it at the exact same time, because it could be like maybe one day they think about you more, you think about them more, but then like maybe certain days when you're just like, I want to visit this person in my dream, and they're thinking the same thing. That's when you actually do see each other. Like you do actually visualize each other, and you do appear in each other's dreams. But then they're just like, oh, how'd that happen? It actually happened this time. And I feel like they don't realize it's because you're also thinking about them. It's like it's kind of like you have to do this lucid dreaming at the exact same time to appear in each other's dreams more often. But because it just happens so sporadically, sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't, you know? It really just depends on what you're both doing. So I can imagine like days when they're trying to manifest you in their dreams and you're not showing up or whatever. It's probably because either you're not asleep yet, maybe you guys go to sleep at different times, maybe they have to go to sleep early for work or something, maybe you stay up really late, you know, like maybe your sleeping schedule's kind of off, so while they're thinking about you, you're wide awake, so you're probably not showing up in their dreams right now, you know, maybe. Or in turn, when you're trying to dream about them, you're trying to think about them, maybe they're just like, I'm gonna take a break from trying to do that right now, because obviously it has been happening for the past couple days, and it's just back and forth. So it's like you have to kind of, it has to be like this weird level of like planning, you know. It has to happen at the right time, like the right moment, the right time for you guys to communicate in each other's dreams. Like I feel like you both have to think about it at the exact same time. So with that, obviously you don't know when they're thinking what they're thinking. So, you know, when they dream about you, when you dream about them, it has to kind of be at the same time for the communication to really be like an astral projection, actual talking, you know. And then that's how you kind of manifest each other, okay? Because yes, when they have these visualizations of being with you, I feel like there's a lot of times like it might be your silhouette, it might be like you're far away from them, you're across the room from them, and they want to walk to you, but suddenly, like, you know, it's like they're walking in water. Suddenly, like they're paralyzed from the waist down, they can't move all of a sudden, and you know, or like the second, like right before you turn around, the dream changes. It's like your dream basically just goes on commercial break and then it just changes. So it's just like they haven't really mastered that yet. So yeah, like they try to dream about you. That's how they manifest you, with dreaming, with, you know, telepathic communication in their sleep. But then suddenly it very quickly just changes again. Like they don't know how to keep it on you for long enough, okay? And then like the yes or no answer, I feel like honestly this is kind of a yes, because, you know, like no, they're not seeing a psychic, but yes, they are manifesting you in their dreams, because the Six of Swords in the reverse is like they can't move on, okay? Also, like this also talks about, like, you know, baggage and everything, and the Ten of Wands does talk about baggage as well. So it's like they can't move on from you, so they do try to force a dream. Plus, look, this person is sleeping. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's probably blurry. It might be focused down here. Person is sleeping. They're sleeping on this like swan, okay? So yeah, it's like they can't move on from you, so they try to force a dream about you, okay? Now I'm going to pull one card from the Romance Angel Oracle deck as a bonus that I've been doing for the decks, okay? So thank you, Spirit, pile number 3. So this person tries to manifest pile number 3 in their sleep. So let's kind of like look into more of this situation, like what kind of happens, maybe what happens in these dreams when they do show up. Like what happens in these dreams when this person shows up. Wedding in the reverse. Okay. I feel like that very much tied into like the 4 of Wands, because like this might as well be like the reverse, you know, because 4 of Wands is like the marriage card. So I feel like I just said, I might pull, I don't know, I didn't pull other cards for the other deck, so I might just leave it alone. But like, yeah, like I was saying, they dream about like all this cute romantic stuff with you, but then it very quickly just ends. Like they don't know how to hold on to the dream. I feel like at one point or another, like they just, like they don't know how to turn on and off the manifestation. So they could be having a really cute, sweet dream about you, and like you're all romantic and you're sweet and everything, but maybe just before you open your mouth to say I love you, like it suddenly, you just disappear, or their alarm goes off, they wake up, the dream changes out of nowhere, and they're just like, shit, like what were you saying? Like what did you say? It's almost like Spirit, I feel like Spirit just kind of wants to dangle the carrot in front of them, just kind of be like, nope, we're not gonna give it to you that easy because you should be talking to them, like, you know, like, nope, you know, like we could have them stay and say that they love you, or show that little dream sequence of them giving birth to your child, or the dream sequence of you guys kissing or getting married or whatever. But if we let you stay in your imagination right now, then that's all you're ever gonna do, and you're not going to talk to them. So we want you to long for them. You know, we want you to long for them and want this, and just show you how beautiful and amazing it will be, and then pull it away from you right before you wake up, right before your dream changes, so that you can feel this urge to actually talk to them. Okay, so I feel like Spirit kind of has your back in that case, and honestly theirs too, just being like, look, we are purposely going to dangle this in your face to show you how amazing it could be, pull it away so you actually talk to this person, because otherwise you wouldn't have done it, you know? All right. Okay, so even with that whole beginning spiel, this reading wasn't that long, so I hope you guys enjoyed. That was a really cool reading. Let me know if you want more stuff like this, okay? And I'll see you next time.